What if I told you that you do not need a car to be a travel nurse? Whether you don't own a car, you don't want to drive cross country, or you just prefer city living, I'm breaking down exactly how to make travel nursing work for you without a car. Hi, nursing friends, and welcome back to Passports and Preemies. I'm Kylie. I have been a NICU nurse for almost a decade, and I spent 7 of those years navigating this crazy world of travel nursing. So, if you are interested in travel nursing, or just how to spend your time off away from the bedside, wellness tips and tricks, make sure to subscribe because I am dropping all of the insider knowledge here on my new YouTube channel. The short answer is no, you do not need a car to be a travel nurse, but you are going to need to be a little bit more strategic in picking a travel nurse assignment without a car, and you're going to have to be a little bit pickier than you would otherwise be. If you are not going to bring a car to your travel nurse assignment, you're going to want to consider cities that are either one, walkable, or two, have good public transportation systems. So, cities that I would consider walkable would be cities like San Francisco, New York City. Cities with good public transportation, in my opinion, would be cities like Seattle, New York City, Chicago, and Chicago is also pretty walkable as well. So you're gonna just need to be a little bit more picky and creative about where you choose to take an assignment. When you're choosing an assignment without a car, a few more things to consider. Number one, you might want to ask your recruiter or during your interview with the manager, if the hospital can help save costs on public transportation. Sometimes they have a discount that you are able to use uh, to save on public transportation. You're going to want to look up all of the subway and bus options in your city. Usually, every city has like an app that you can download specific to that city's public transportation. So just Google, public transportation app in Chicago, in New York, in Boston, in San Francisco, and that should be able to help you. You might want to consider bringing a bike to your assignment or renting a bike. There's a lot of cities now that have options to rent bikes through an app. So that might be an option for you. Of course, you could consider living close to the hospital. When I was living in San Francisco, I chose an apartment about a mile away from the hospital that I was working at, and I just walked to work every day, which was obviously very convenient. And then, of course, you can always use Uber, Lyft. If you're in a crunch, this is expensive, but if you use it sparingly, it is an option. You're not in a bind. You can always get to work. So remember that that is an option for you as well. And lastly, you could also consider car sharing. There are some apps that allow you to car share, apps like Turo, I believe it's called. Or, when you get to your assignment, you could always ask if anybody is like willing to rent their car out. I have had friends that have successfully done this, and that's another option for you. Besides picking a city that has public transportation or is walkable, another thing to consider is housing, right? So you're going to want to pick housing that is optimal to not having a car. Okay, you're going to want to live near the hospital. You're going to want to live near a public transport stop. When you are looking for housing, just ask the landlord exactly how far away is this place of living from the hospital that you're going to be working at. The pros to travel nursing without a car: no cost of insurance, you don't have to pay for parking, you don't have to pay for hospital parking or like street parking at your housing. If you don't have a car, you don't have to make those long drives between your assignments, which can be nice because you can fly instead. Of course, there are several cons to not travel nursing with a car. You have to be more picky about your assignments. You have to rely on public transportation or ride sharing. And then, of course, it can be harder to grocery run or run errands or just get to work in general. I did several travel nurse assignments without a car, and it truly wasn't a huge deal for me. I think that the biggest thing for me is that when I finish an assignment, I love to explore the surrounding city that I've been living in, right? So when I was in Seattle, I really wanted to drive down to Oregon, or when I was in San Francisco, I wanted to drive down the coast. So at the end of my assignment, I just used a booking platform. I generally use what's called Discover Cars. And the reason that I like this booking platform is that it does a good job at aggregating all of the rental cars available in the city and comparing all of the prices. So you can choose the best option for you. And then you can also choose, like, four-door, two-door, manual, automatic, whatever. So Discover Cars is generally then what I use at the end of my assignment. And I like to rent a car for 1 or 2 weeks and kind of explore the surrounding area. So again, if you don't have a car, you're not stuck. You can always rent one as well. And if you're not going to bring a car, definitely look into getting a credit card that allows you to earn points to use towards travel, right? So you might want to get status with an airline if you're going to be flying a certain airline a lot. I like a credit card that can use transferable points to many partners. Travel nursing without a car is totally possible, but you need to plan ahead. And if you love city life, this is probably the best option for you. Even if you have a car and you're, moving to New York City, you might not want to take your car with you. I'm curious, would you ever consider travel nursing without a car? If you have any tips for those travel nurses traveling without a car, please leave a comment below. And if you like tips on travel nursing and travel, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube for weekly videos where I will be sharing all of my insider knowledge on this crazy world of travel nursing.